Brendan, you gave a significant injury update last night, but have you any fresh concerns since the game or any players returning ahead of the Spurs game?
No, we'll have the same squad as last night. So, yeah, no, I think I said after the game, James and Ben will miss the last couple of games, as will Christian, and Mark will hopefully be available for Manchester United. Otherwise, we're all the same.
What sort of challenge is that for you with some important games to come?
No, listen, I was really excited about the game last night. We're missing, obviously, outstanding talents, and Ricardo Pereira and the guys that I've mentioned. So, but it's always an opportunity, and like I say, you embrace the opportunity, and the guys that come in, they all know how we play. It's very systematic in how we work. So the guys coming in understand our style of football. But then to see young Luke Thomas come in last night and play to that level with that composure, and that's what I'm saying. It's always an opportunity. So no, I was absolutely delighted with the guys that are fit and available now, and yeah, they've done a great job.
And of course, it was Europa League football guaranteed for next season, but still, obviously, with eyes on the top four. How do you assess your chances of qualifying for Champions League with this Tottenham game to come?
Well, I think we can now give absolutely everything into it and play with that freedom. You know, like I said, our targets really at the beginning of the season was, could we bring Leicester City into Europe? In my time here, and I always felt that was going to be the challenge, the big challenge. But for the players to do it with 2 games to go is absolutely superb. However, we have an opportunity to achieve even more, and we're going to give absolutely everything to do that. And if we keep the standard that we had last night in the game in terms of our intensity and mentality in the game, then we know we'll have as good a chance as anyone.
How do you think Tottenham's approach has changed since you last faced them when Mauricio Pochettino was in charge?
Listen, Tottenham have got a world-class manager, and they get outstanding players. So it's always going to be a difficult opponent for us. So yeah, they get, as I said, talents at the top end of the field that can hurt you, and so we'll have to be ready for a tough game.
Just on Luke Thomas, of course, local lad, great debut for him last night, and always great for fans to see local boys coming through and making it into the first team. But how do you manage him going forward now? I mean, it looks like he will be playing in 2 what are going to be huge games over the next week or so.
Well, this is why he's travelled in. His parents, 4 and 5 times a week since he was a young boy, coming into the academy and working, and the long nights and all the travel that they do, they work, and the objective is to play for the first team. And I was thrilled for him last night. I said before the game that it's always exciting for me as a coach, because that's what I am. I like to develop players, whether they're young players or older players. But it's so great when you have a talent and they can go in and do as well as what you hope, because then it's the beginning of what will hopefully be a fantastic career for him. There's still so much work to do. He's coming in. A huge challenge for him last night, playing against a really, really good team that have real good quality and physicality. So to cope with that, it was a really, really good start. But there'll be bumps along the way for him, that's for sure. And I've also seen that with young players. But he's very level-headed. He's got a good perspective on where he's at, and like I say, he's got real quality. So we'll nurture him, and like I said, there's going to be many more opportunities for him. But fantastic talent.
Harry Kane, though, loves a goal against Leicester. I think it's something like 14 in 13 games. I was up at St James's Park on Wednesday, watched him pretty closely against Newcastle. Maybe not as mobile as a player since his injury, since coming back. Still pops up though, scoring 2 goals on that night. How do you go about keeping him from making it maybe 15 in 14 games?
No, we've got to control their team. Harry's an outstanding striker who will get all types of goals and all sorts of goals, but they have other talents as well. Son is, great in counter-attack and can break away, so we have to manage that threat. got other players like Lamela, who's creative and bright, and Moore. So you have to control the team. They've got threats throughout the team. And then that's what we'll collectively look to do, similar to last night. Collective is how we'll look to try and win the game.